Hi everybody, welcome back to my Dungeon Boss Is It Worth It series. Today we are going to be taking a look at the new caster, Lily. So, over the last week or so, I've been seeing a lot of people in Gen Chat saying how awful Lily is. And I've kind of taken offense to that, so we're going to take a little bit closer look at her. So, Lily is a new type of hero, which is a plant, and currently the only other plant is Rocky. Now she does have a couple of unique abilities, but let's go ahead and take a look at what I have her at right now. So I put some runes on her just for demonstration. She's got an attack of 2,500, defense of 1,900, and a max health of 5,000. Reasonable crit chance. So plant growth, increase max HP and attack, stacks up to 8 times. Super awesome skill. Chance to lower attack when hit, can never doubt that too much. Nature allies, she works real well with nature, so they get extra damage towards armor. But basically, we can't overlook that very first trait here. Now, her first skill, Sapping Vines, is her main attack, so it does nature damage, but it also it heals her, so that's a big component here. The pollen lowers defense and gives evasion for your allies, which is nice. And then lastly, this last one gives you some damage reflection, and it also turns nature heroes into plants, which is super cool. So in order to show just how amazing she is, or how good of a hero she is and how much she doesn't suck, we're going to do a little test here. So first things first, as far as Lily goes, she's not a PvP hero, and I think that's why so many people are saying that she's bad. She's a dungeon runner through and through. I cannot understate that enough. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go back to one of the dungeons that I found to be a little bit of a nuisance when I was farming tokens. So when I would farm Pygneus tokens, getting that last one was always a pain in the ass. I would run it with my undead team. And when we run Pinnacle, I'd use it with my undead team, and you can go right through all the way up to the boss without too much problem with the undead team. But both of the bosses hit really hard against dark heroes, and then if you don't kill them at the exact same time, they'll just keep reviving each other over and over until you finally just get worn down. So what we're gonna do is, if it's hard with my undead team, what if we just ran Lily by herself? You could run Lily with 3 nature heroes, and you'll absolutely stomp on this dungeon. But let's just run Lily by herself and see where that takes us. And then you can be the judge if Lily is worth it for you. So I won't even throw my biased opinion out there again. I think I've made it pretty clear that she's good at this point. But you can determine if she's going to be good for you. So this is no slouch of a dungeon either. This is a level 70 dungeon. This is the last dungeon of chapter 20 in challenge mode. So I'm playing it at level here. So they're going to try and do their best here. And with Sapping Vines, it just healed her. So Sapping Vines is a good way to keep her alive. And if you had anybody else on your team, they might be attacking them instead. But she can take quite a bit of damage from certain types of attacks. And then with the Sapping Vines always replenishing her health, makes things go pretty easily. So the nice thing, what really makes her shine, is how does she hold up in the long run? Well, she gets that growth buff every single turn. So the longer she stays in the fight, the more powerful she becomes. And the same is true for nature heroes then too, because if you convert them into plants, they just keep growing stronger and stronger and stronger. So yeah, they may not be killing her right now, but all I'm doing is buying my time, keeping my health high, and ultimately buffing up. And then Sapping Vines kills almost everybody. And you get 3 turns of that. So that's 3 turns of AoE attack and heals. So that little growth counter does reset every single room. But honestly, it doesn't take long for that to grow, because every time you use an ability, it grows plants. So this would be the first time you use this skill, which gives some damage reflection, which will give it to your other allies as well. But that's also what turns nature allies into plants as well, and then they can benefit from the growth as well. So if you turn somebody who's a really awesome nature hero, like a Goblin team, if you bring Bramble, Zerk, and Nub Nub along with her, they're going to be a force to reckon with any dungeon, especially even if you get to a tougher boss, because their growth is going to get out of control, and they'll just be able to dominate anybody. So overall, like I said, the stage itself, when I run this with my undead team, is not the problem. But the fact that we're running a level or a chapter 20 challenge dungeon with one hero with moderate runes should tell you that she has some serious merit here. So we got the little mini bosses here. I thought maybe these guys would cause problems, but ultimately, if you have sapping vines, you get 3 free turns of healing, plus it damages all of them. It actually works out pretty well. So even though they hit her, saps, get some health back. Do a basic AoE attack, kill them some more, wait for them to hit again, wait for the sap again, and I'll be at full health. And just like that, dungeon is almost over with. And one more sap and they'll be pretty much all dead. So she's looking pretty good so far. So this boss here is where things get a little bit iffy with your undead team, because they like to just kill Brahmins pretty much outright with just a single hit. So I expected them to be pretty tough, but as long as I have sapping vines and I get a couple of turns of growth in there, so I just do a little bit of damage reflection to start with and get a little bit of growth. Plus it gives her heals as well. So I didn't need the heals yet when I used this one. That's why I used the second skill instead of the sapping vines. But now that I have a growth of 5, these guys don't stand a chance. So that attack is just whittling them down. I'm at max growth right now. My attack just is brutal to these guys. And there they go. So very, very easy dungeon, and it shouldn't be when you're running just a single hero. So in this case here, like I said, it's going to be up to you if you think it's worth it. I found that she's really helpful. I think when they ultimately release the second half of the boss mode, or increase the level to 75, which I feel like is going to be coming for the next boss mode, I think she's going to be a major component in running some of the dungeons just because of her versatility. So any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, like I said, you can make the determination if she's worth it. Otherwise, thanks for watching.